What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our Week 1 battle for the ICBA. Today we are facing off against Spanik at the Disco, coach of the Reno Ace Rollas. And Spanik actually has a really scary team, guys, just like pretty much everyone here in the ICBA, because of course this league has a lot of Ubers allowed in it. So if you guys haven't checked out my draft analysis, I highly suggest you guys go out and do that right now. Now, all these games will be taking place on Wi-Fi. This is just the team builder. I will be releasing the team builder and the battle at the same day, so in the same video actually. So if you guys don't like that, there should be, I guess, a timestamp to skip ahead. If not, I forgot. I'm sorry. Don't kill me. But let's just get into the matchup and the battle, and we'll start off with that. But before we do that, make sure to answer the common question of the day, guys, which is who is one content creator you would like to see me play in league format and why? Just let me know. I would love to hear your opinions on who you want to see me play. Anyways, let's just get into the roster. So my opponent has a team of Origin Form Giratina, which cost him 243 points. He's got Mega Scizor, Clefable, Toxapex, Rotom Heat, which is his Z captain, Shaman, which is a Z user, Swellow, a Z user, Cryogonal, Rhydon, Liepard, and Galliard, another Z user. Our team is Darkrai, which is our Z captain, Mew, Conkeldurr, Crobat, Whimsicott, which is another Z captain, Kyurem, Gastrodon. I'll kind of combine those two together. Regirock, Ditto, Musharna, and Mega Mawile. Now, let's get into the team that we actually brought. So, to start off, we have our Mawile here, 27 teeth, named after 27. Female, obviously, because no reason. So we are Brave Nature here. We have Play Rough, Fire Fang, Thunder Punch, and Rock Slide. I don't need the Iron Head to touch the Clefable because Play Rough actually does like enough to OHKO it if it's actually not defensive. If it's just special defensive, it can OHKO it. Fire Fang is there for the Scizor, Thunder Punch is there for the Toxapex, and Rock Slide is there to catch the Rotom on the switch. I definitely think the Rotom is like the main check to this thing, so I want to be able to catch that thing with the Rock Slide on the switch. And once we do that, it honestly opens up so much for our team, because the only things that can really break the Rotom is our Darkrai, Conkeldurr, and our Mew. So yeah. Moving on though, we have AJ here, our Crobat with the Black Sludge. AJ is our Crobat because he suggested we draft Crobat this draft. We have Heatwave, Roost, U-Turn, and Defog. Defog is there because I know he's going to bring Toxic Spikes against me. I have no grounded poison, and Defog does actually decently well against my team. It only affects three of the 6 members I brought this week, but it still is a bit of a bother. Heatwave is there for the Scizor. That's probably pretty problematic. Roost is there, obviously, because of longevity. U-Turn for momentum. We have enough speed here for, I believe, the Swellow, which is a really big threat to my team if he's especially offensive. Then we have TKO, our Darkrai, named after TKO. Dark Pulse, Sludge Bomb, Thunderbolt, and Nasty Plot. With the Darkinium Z, we have enough speed to speed tie the Swellow. We have Dark Pulse there for stab, and for Z Dark Pulse, just does a ton of damage. It's a nuke to everything. Basically, at +2, we win the game if we get chip damage on, if we get chip damage on the Clefable, if we get chip damage on the Scizor, and yeah, basically we get chip damage on those two, we pretty much win the game, and that's that. And that's just a really good thing. So basically my plan is I have ways to sweep with Darkrai once, and I have ways to break with Darkrai and then sweep with Darkrai again. Moving on though, we have Scrappy here, our Conkeldurr, Facade, Knockoff, Drain Punch, and Fire Punch with the Flame Orb this week. We are also Brave Nature. That was because originally I was going to bring Trick Room on Mew, but I decided to go against it. But I felt like the set was still just as good. I didn't really need to outspeed anything crazy, so yeah. We're max attack. We don't have Earthquake or Thunder Punch here because I didn't really need it, seeing that Facade with the Guts boost and the Burn actually does even more, not even more, but almost as much Toxapex. It's like a 2 KO basically. Then we have Knockoff, Drain Punch, and Fire Punch. I feel like not having Mach Punch is going to bite me in the ass, but I can't really do anything about it because Fire Punch is there for the Scizor. Drain Punch doesn't do enough to where it warrants an OHKO, and Knockoff, just having that fresh utility to hit Giratina is really important. To hit the Rotom Heat on the switch is nice. To hit the Shaman even. Just hit the Rhydon is a big one too. And knocking out the Eevee Light is a really big thing because if it has the Eevee Light on, I need to have the Z move to OHKO it, actually, which really sucks. So we gotta be careful there. Moving on though, we have Tails, which is our Mew, of course, Psychic, Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, and Nasty Plot. I have enough speed for, I believe it's Giratina. I'm pretty sure it's max speed Giratina because that thing can be kind of scary to my team if he has Toxic Spikes up and if he has T-Spikes up and he's running Hex. That could be pretty scary. But Psychic hits pretty much everything really hard except for like the Liepard. It hits everything really hard except for like the Scizor, but I have Flamethrower for that, and I have Shadow Ball there for the Giratina just in case that thing becomes problematic. So yeah. Then we have Bennett here, our Whimsicott, which is Tailwind, Memento, Energy Ball, and Moonblast. We have enough speed there for the Liepard because that thing can also have Prankster. Energy Ball, Moonblast. Energy Ball is there for the Rhydon, Moonblast for the Liepard and the Giratina. Tailwind is there because if I get a Tailwind up and I somehow get my Conkeldurr in or my Mawile in, even though they have minus speed natures, they still just go to work. And then Memento is there because obviously I want to potentially Memento my my Whimsicott on his, let's say, I don't know, his Rotom, and then I can go into my my Darkrai and click Nasty Plot and then just go for game from there. And that'd be a really, really good way to try and win the game. So yeah, guys, that's our team this week versus Hispanic. It's a really good roster. I don't really see many problems with it. I think the biggest issue I would have with it is that we have two pretty, like, I guess, pretty good pivots in our Whimsicott and our Crobat, and they're not very offensive unless against like a handful of Pokemon. So that could be kind of an issue that we encounter. But anyways, guys, let's just get into the battle. We definitely have the matchup, so I want you guys to see how this went down. All right, guys, here we are back with the battle. Now, as you can see, my opponent brought the Cryogonal, Toxapex, Rotom Heat, Mega Scizor, Shaman, and the Rhydon. Kind of confused why there's no Swellow, but I mean, whatever. Hispanic has not the best matchup in the world, so he has to bring, I guess, a team that will throw me off, which makes sense. But let's just get right into it. So I'm gonna lead off here with my Mew. It is by far my best option for a lead because just in case he has, I don't know, like the Scizor lead, or he wants to Mega Ball right away, Flamethrower can come out and Oko that thing, which is really nice. So he's actually gonna go ahead and lead off with OB3, which is his Toxapex here. And I'm like, this is a pretty damn good lead. Also, first off, thank you to Drake for genning, and thank you to Aaron to AA2 for recording. Really appreciate you guys. But this is a really good lead because I can just go for the Nasty Plot that you guys see right there. And the reason why the Nasty Plot is so key is because now I can pretty much break anything on his team. And he's going to go for the Toxic Spikes there. I was kind of hoping he was going to go for the Scald, but I mean, he doesn't. He goes for just the T-Spikes, and it's really unfortunate because that's going to kind of chip down my team. But I can go for the Psychic now, and Psychic actually has a really good shot to Oko this thing at +2, and that's exactly what we do. So this annoying Toxapex is down, turn 2. We're off to a really good start. Mew picks up the first kill of the ICBA season for us. Then comes Tumblr here, which is his Cryogonal, and I actually have the Flamethrower for this thing. Flamethrower is not going to do that much to it because obviously Cryogonal is super fast, especially defensively, but he also a knockoff, doing a decent chunk of damage to us, taking off our leftovers, and Flamethrower will come out, and I'm just hoping for it to do over half, and we actually managed to get that, just over half, which is really useful, and he's going to now go for the Freeze Dry here, because that does, I believe, the most damage of any move he brought to us. So yeah, he knocks it down to just under half, which is really unfortunate, so we can't be switching on many things. I'm not running like a Healing Wish, I'm running Memento on my Whimsicott, meaning I can't like recover back all the HP on my Mew. But in comes MattOshea, the Shaman, and I can't risk this thing winning a speed tie against me or potentially being faster than me in general because I don't have that much speed, so I switch out now. I'm going to go with my Crobat, which actually 4 times resists the Seed Flare, which is really nice to have because Shaman always seems to be a pretty big threat to me, I should say. And Seed Flare comes out, beautiful animation, and it does nothing to me, but he gets a special defense drop, and that's where I'm like, okay, I have to U-turn here. I really want to click Defog right now. If he hadn't gotten the special defense drop, I would have defogged right here. But he's actually going to withdraw here, I guess fearing the Brave Bird, which makes sense. And he goes into his Rotom Heat. Now, I really wish I defogged. Oh, I really wish I defogged here. But the U-turn comes out, gives me momentum to go actually into my Conkeldurr, I believe. Or do I go into that? Do I go to Conkeldurr here? Yeah, I go into Conkeldurr here. And unfortunately, I'm not going to activate my Flame Orb. But I have the Facade. And Facade is going to Oko this thing, or do pretty much close to that. And he revealed to be leftovers, so he's not an offensive Choice Scarf variant. So at this point here, I take some chip damage from the poison, which is going to be about 6% more than I would take from a burn each turn, which is so unfortunate. But he goes to the Volt Switch here, and that does a sizable chunk of damage, does about like 35%. And in comes his MattOshea, and I'm thinking, okay, please, Oko, just drop. Make this thing drop. And Facade comes out, and, well, it doesn't. That's super unfortunate. Now, I'm going to pause it right here. So, this next turn, I was predicting him to switch out, to double back out into something like the Scizor, to predict him to double out into something like even the Rhydon maybe. So I actually go for the Fire Punch here, and the reason I do that is because I predict him to switch out because he's going to be fearing the Mach Punch. But he actually doesn't do that, so I'm actually going to stay in, and I actually sack off my Conkeldurr here to the Z move, which is so unfortunate because I really wanted to keep this thing alive because it was really helpful against the Rotom, it was really helpful against the Scizor, everything. So it's if I swapped out into my Crobat there again, it would have taken nothing from the Z Dazzling Gleam. It would have taken nothing. But he goes for the Dazzling Gleam nonetheless, and it's gonna beat us, which is, it sucks. But I mean, we can't really do anything about it now because Conkeldurr is down, and that's a pretty big wall breaker gone. But I sent in AJ here, my Crobat, because U-turn will Oko this thing. But again, I should have just gone for the defog here. he's going to withdraw his Shaman, preserve it for Deathfire later, and go out into his Rotom, which is a pretty good answer to this thing in terms of a defensive stopper. And U-turn comes out and does, again, a tiny chunk of damage. I wish I had Rocks down this thing for this damn Rotom. I'm going to go now straight into Tails here, my Mew. I want to put this thing down, and I believe, well, not believe, but for sure the Psychic will be able to do like 50% of this thing if he's not especially defensive. So I'm going to go for the Psychic right here, and I don't know what he's going to go for. He's probably going to switch out just regularly because he can't take the hits, or he can't afford to take the hit, but he actually stays in, and this makes me think he's probably going to go for the Volt Switch. Psychic comes out and does 35-40%, which is okay. Volt Switch comes out to us, and we actually survive the hit, but that means now that we're going to die to the Toxic Poisoning from the T-Spike, and he can send Alyssa his Mega Scizor, and I'm going to just go down to the Poison here, but this is okay because he's free switching to my Mawile, and this is where the game starts to go well for us. So Mawile comes out, and Mawile can just freely click Rock Slide. He can't OHKO me with a +2 Bullet Punch, he can't OHKO me with 2 Bullet Punches, especially since now he's intimidated. So I'm going to go for the I'm going to Mega Evolve and go for the Rock Slide here, but then the Rotom could come in. If he goes for the Rhydon, it's fine because I can switch back into something else, but he goes Rotom. I'm going to Mega Evolve here, and I click Rock Slide, and this Rotom is gone, guys. It's just going to be incredible to get rid of this thing because this was the one thing kind of holding back my Crobat from really U-turning around well, from holding back my Whimsicott, but we miss. Yeah, that miss was massive, and that miss obviously guys, was really big, and I think honestly this miss was what really pushed the game out of our favor. We were in complete control of this game. We were playing really well, and then this is the miss that made me say I should have defogged my Rocks away. My T-Spikes away. So anyways, he gets Leftovers Recovery, and I have no choice. I have to sack off my Mawile here. I have no choice. The Whimsicott just like comes in, and basically unless things have -2 already, then Mawile can't take a hit from the Overheat. So at this point here, I have to go straight into my Darkrai. He's at -2 special attack. I can click the Nasty Plot here, and I can just kind of try to go for a game. Basically, I have to hope that his Scizor is out of range. Sorry, I'm out of range of the Scizor's Bullet Punch by the time he gets that. And even then, I'm not going to be OHKOing at a +2. So I go for the Nasty Plot here, hoping he would just switch out, but he actually stays in, and that means he's going to go for the Volt Switch. But it shouldn't do too much damage, but it is extra damage that does chip down my Darkrai here. So Volt Switch comes out, does about 20 points of health, which is unfortunate. It's a decent little chunk, and he's going to now send in We Are Number 1, his Rhydon here. And if he is specially defensive, I have to go for my Z-move here. I have to burn it, which is really unfortunate. Now, I'm really scared if he actually switched out and went into Shaman here. It would have been a disaster had he done that. But thankfully, he stays in. We can go for the Darkinian Z. And guys, this, first of all, beautiful animation. I love how it looks, especially in Citra. Beautiful. And we're going to be able to OHKO this thing. The minute it does to a max special defense, Rhydon is like 99.5%, which is, it's close. If we get that roll, I'd be very, very sad, but Rhydon will go into that Eclipse, get obliterated, and goodbye Rhydon. So we pick up a first kill of the season with Darkrai here, and our first kill of the season that wasn't with Mew. Anyways, TKO gets hit with some poison, in comes Matt Shaman. I'm just going to go for the Dark Pulse again. I have no reason not to. It's not going to outspeed me. So yeah. 1 second, my alarm just went off. I have to go pause that. Alright, sorry about that. I am back. So yeah, so Dark Pulse comes out and we'll take out the Shaman here. So we're in a pretty good spot. I'm hoping we're still out of range for the Scizor, but honestly, I need this in the back for the Rotom. I'm hoping he goes to Rotom, but he goes into his Scizor here, and this guy is, unless he misplays, he's probably going to win this game. So I'm going to switch out now, and I go into AJ, my Crobat, hoping he just goes for like the U-turn here, particularly in the switch. And even then, if he does that, it doesn't really matter. Like, Whimsicott is going down. I have Leftovers, not Focus Sash. So, anyways, he goes for the Bullet Punch here. And Bullet Punch actually does a decent bit more than I expected it to. And it turns out he's actually Adamant Max Attack. So, we live the next hit, which is good. We have a really good chance to. I could Heat Wave here, but I predict the switch, so I go for the U-turn here. And it's like, come on. If I'd gone for the Heat Wave there, I could have put this thing in range to where the Moonblast from my Whimsicott would have KO'd, and that meant we could have still won the game. So that's a 50-50 there we lost out on, but I go into Bennett here and I have one last chance. I have to go for the Memento here, sacking off my Whimsicott, and then go straight into my Darkrai, and then hope he stays in to go for the what is it called? Bullet Punch. We live, get a crit on the Dark Pulse and go for game. But even that, it's so unlikely to happen, it's just not going to happen. So we went from having pretty much almost a guaranteed shot at winning this game if we land that Rock Slide to well, pretty much no chance, because we lost our Mawile, which is one of the biggest offensive checks to his Scizor, one of the best offensive answers to his entire team. So he's going to switch out now, which is a good move. He's going to sack off his Rotom here. It's going to die to 2 Dark Pulses. So Dark Pulse comes off the first time. Maybe miraculously we can gain HP. I don't know. That's the only way we really have a chance to win this guy. So at this point here, you guys know the outcome. We're going to end up losing 1-0 here. So what kind of went wrong this match? So first off, I definitely think I should have defogged away the hazards. But the only reason I'm saying that, and this is true, the only reason I'm actually saying that is because we did manage to KO the Rotom. Had we KO'd the Rotom, we would have been in a great spot because my Darkrai wouldn't have had to come in there on the Rotom at -2. It would have been gone. I would have been able to set up on something else. I could have set up on the Rhydon even a little bit. I could have set up on the what is it called? Oh my god, I'm blanking. The Shaman a bit. So we had opportunities to set up, and we didn't need to set up. We could just obliterate things with the Z Dark Pulse, but it's not how it turned out. Obviously, I'm kind of disappointed that we lost. I'm pretty disappointed that we did lose. I definitely think we were in a great spot to win. But GG Hispanic, he had a win con in mind, which was get up a T-Spike and chip things down enough so that Scizor could bullet punch everything to death, and it worked out for him. Not the way that I guess he hoped, not the way that I guess I hoped the match to go, but it went his way, and that's just how it is. It really sucks because I've been getting hacks like crazy lately. BBL pretty much the entire season has been one big hacks fest, whether it's in my favor that 1 week against Blue or majority of other weeks against pretty much everyone else. It's just I'm tired of missing moves. It sucks. You don't run Stone Edge, you run Rock Slide, and you miss it. So what are you going to do, guys? That is the game. If you guys enjoyed this battle, make sure to leave a like on the video and go into the description below and check out all the coaches in the ICBA. They're all linked down there, from Spanik, who's been there for all seasons, to newcomers like Sharpedo43 and Tom. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.